Hi guys, and welcome to the Business as Unusual show. It is 4:30. We have thrived another week. I'm not going to say survived anymore. I'm bored of saying survived. So we're going to say thrived another week. And I've got an incredible guest, a voiceover artist. I don't actually know if it's an artist or actor. We'll find this out in just a second. But before we do, let's roll the intro. Hi guys, and welcome to the Business as Unusual show. My name is Luke. I'm the CEO of Sleeping Giant Media and Giant Campus. We're a digital marketing agency focusing on getting relevant traffic to our clients' websites. And we put together this show to try to share some ideas. It's all about sharing kind of those moments of inspiration from the guests that we have on that you can hopefully take back to your businesses, to your lives, to hopefully make isolation a little bit less isolating. And I've got a fantastic guest on the show today. I've got Clare Reeves, who's going to be talking to us about the work that she's been doing. There's a bit of a quiz that we've got going on. I've got loads of additional buttons to press today, so I'm slightly nervous about that. I've also just found out that she was a radio host, which is also great because there's additional pressure on me to make sure I do press the right buttons. So without further ado, let's introduce Clare. And again, any questions that you have, do chuck them in chat and I can put them to Clare as we go along. Hello, Clare. How are you doing?
Hi, Luke. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm slightly warm, actually. I've just realised that, it's a really hot day, and filming with lights and things, it just adds a little bit of temperature to the room. So that's going to be interesting.
Just don't melt. Then all will be fine. Yeah.
I'm guessing you're at the top of your house right now.
Yeah. Can you guess?
Is it I'm guessing it's going to be quite warm there as well.
Yeah, it can be. I haven't even got the window open at the moment, so yeah, I'm preparing to cook.
Okay, nice. It's well, we'll try and get through this. I've got my drink with me, so that should cool me down a little bit as we go. But how things have been for you? How's the last few months been? Obviously, quite sort of obviously challenging for a lot of people. What sort of impact has it had on kind of your space, your kind of your sector?
Yeah, it's interesting because I've been working from home from this hot attic with a sound studio in for about the last 10 years anyway, mainly based at home.
Yeah.
Going to London kind of once in a while to do sessions at my agent's studio and other studios, but kind of mainly here. So in the going to work respect, I guess things haven't changed that much. However, what I do rely on, of course, is people booking me for things, because I can say you're a voiceover artist, but if you're not actually working, that's a whole other thing. So work kind of all of a sudden was very busy because there was a lot of prep for people going into lockdown, lots of announcements, things in shops, keep apart from each other, all that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden it was a bit like, oh, tumbleweed. And you think, okay, this is people finding their feet. So there were a couple of weeks that were, I'm not going to lie to you, terrifyingly quiet. I just thought, this has got to pan out. Surely I've got a great studio, I've got amazing connectivity, so I can speak to people like they're in the same room, like all over the world. And it sounds good, but there was a lot of people coming in who haven't worked from home before, who were setting up, let's politely say, studios at home.
Claire, what do you think about my studio right now? Be honest.
You're not being a voiceover artist,
That's
are
true.
you, though, saying that you've got a broadcast quality studio?
Good, politically correct answer. Good work, well done.
So I think it's absolutely fine for what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
When and if you want any soundproofing tips, come and talk to me.
Egg boxes. Egg boxes on the wall, do they work?
Oh, is that still a thing?
Is it? Apparently, I looked on YouTube. I don't have any egg boxes on the walls, but
I don't think it helps terribly much.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, see, this is why you're the pro. This is why you're the pro.
I don't know, so it's kind of been up and down, and what I found myself doing is working harder and harder to keep building my business. Because I think the worst thing we can do in this sort of crazy environment is to pull up the drawbridge and say, oh, there's nothing out there. I don't know what to do. My work's not coming in. a lot of voiceover work is marketing, actually. So I've had to kind of up the marketing and work harder for my work and find new areas that are perhaps a bit more COVID proof, if that's a word.
Yeah.
You know, looking for those opportunities that are maybe the growth areas. And for me, working on my own, that involves sitting down with a large pad of paper, a pen, loads of quiet on a Sunday afternoon, and just kind of trying to empty my head and you know, brainstorm on my own.
Well, we might have some content for you actually on that one. All the things you can, because again, there's some sectors that have seen, you know, a really positive kind of uplift in this kind of time period. So there's hopefully some content you can find out on our website, which I'll share with you, or we'll put in the link afterwards, which might help you with identifying some of those sectors. Cool. And also just say hi to the guys in chat. Kevin, thanks for joining. Ant, thanks for joining. Love the comments on the screen. Yes, I managed to work out some tech this afternoon, so that the comments will appear just below Claire's image there. So yes, please keep it clean. That's the only thing. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to switch back to the other view without the chat. I feel I have to say it because you know what's going to happen if I don't. I had some friends from university join me last time, and it was it got dangerous. So yeah.
Well, it's beer o'clock on a Friday, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it is a bit dangerous. So I mean, so you've been working kind of you know, in this kind of environment for a while now in terms of working from a home. What are the sort of the challenges that you find in, because obviously a lot of us are, you know, doing this for the first time, you know, the isolation aspect of it. How do you handle it? Has it changed significantly? I mean, obviously we can't do the networking events that we used to kind of do.
Yeah, I think that I miss those more than I knew I liked them, because having worked on my own for the best part of 10 years, is this wrong? I really like working on my own. I love the peace. I love the fact I can make my own mind up what I do when. Lunch is usually rubbish because it's whatever's at the back of the fridge. My challenge is that I'm now homeschooling at the same time and kind of running a house. There's only the three of us, but still, at the same time as trying to build my business, keep working for my clients, you know, so there's more juggling involved. But I think, you know, top tips for working on your own is being quite disciplined about your day. That's a really boring answer, and I'm really sorry, but it's kind of, it's about saying, okay, this is the time I answer the emails. I'm doing my recordings here, unless somebody wants something quite specific in a particular hour. Then I'm having a break. You know, I'll go and spend 10 minutes in the garden, feel guilty about being in the garden, come in, do a bit more marketing work. I try and make sure I get some kind of SEO value every week, whether that's a couple of blogs, some backlinks from somewhere. I get onto some other rosters. I get at least one new client a week. So I've got my kind of goals.
I'm loving the SEO. Yeah, that's the correct answer. There isn't normally a right or wrong answer, but that is a correct one. So well done.
Good. I mean, but you've got to just work at it constantly and chip away. There's no fast ways of doing any of this stuff, as I know you know. But when you work on your own and you're doing everything, I think it's still got to be a priority.
Absolutely, yeah.
As far as, you know, and if you plan it out, what gets planned, you know, gets done, doesn't it, really? And what gets measured gets done. If you're doing it and you're ticking it off a list,
yeah.
You know, and it gives you a bit of structure. Yeah. I like that.
Absolutely. And we were talking pre-show again. You were a finalist in the Digital Women as well, which I think we should be shouting about. That's an amazing achievement.
That's fine.
It's an amazing achievement, and you should be really, really proud of it. I think it definitely as well. Get involved in more of those awards. I think that's a great thing to be doing to help to build that awareness as well. So congratulations.
Yeah,
for that.
And I think. Thank you. And I think it's this is one of those strange jobs that, you know, you alluded to earlier. Am I an artist? Am I an actor? Am I actually a marketing professional? Do I work in advertising? You know, so it's all of those interesting, you get the Venn diagram of all of that, and you kind of find the voiceover artist probably right in the middle, actually, because you're doing all of those things. So, but I'm also a digital freelancer, which is where I was the finalist, the category I was the finalist in, you know, and I totally rely on tech every single day for getting work, delivering work. So
yeah, no, it's great to hear. And we've got some questions that are coming in around opportunities in the new world, which I will come back to. I'm just going to quickly sort of regroup to this week. So this week's been Mental Health Week. Is there any sort of tips or things that you've been doing? You mentioned about the routine. Is there any things that you do for your own kind of mental health? Anything to kind of that you can share as an idea for people to to help them in working alone, which they may not be used to?
Yeah, I think it is important to have networks and connections, especially if all this working on your own stuff is new to you. The voiceover community is actually incredibly sociable, considering we all work on our own in small boxes, and it's quite a small world. And I've got sort of 3 or 4 really close friends that in my world that I can jump on Facebook Messenger, and it's like you're kind of peeping over a virtual monitor on a desk, saying, oh, can I just ask you this? And having that little close support network is really important, and does allow you to let off steam sometimes, because sometimes if you've got no one to go, can you believe the way someone just did that, or what they said to me? If you haven't got that little tiny outlet, then that's not a particularly healthy way to be. You just need to be able to offload occasionally, even if that's just taking the dog out for 10 minutes too, all those little things. And I tend to go, what I have done quite a bit over lockdown that I've never done before is I've created new spaces at home that you can go and sit in. That sounds weird.
Just change it. No, change it up. Like move from one place to the other. Yeah.
Put a new rug down. In fact, moved an old rug from a bedroom that's now in the kitchen, and put another chair in there. So there's a whole new room you can go and sit in. Yeah, and you can sit there with a cup of tea and look out into the garden. Yeah. And it just feels that you need these other little spaces because you can't go to your favourite coffee shop and things. Amazing. So mentally that's a good switch, isn't it? Very much so. Well, I've got one video that I want to play. So we obviously as a business that's normally spending the whole time together, and the load of stuff that we do, we've like this sort of isolation I think has been it's been okay, but it's been challenging for the team for sure, because obviously I think we're quite a social kind of group. So last weekend, myself, business partner, our 2 directors recorded some thank you videos for the team, just to sort of surprise them with something on Monday morning. I'm just going to show you the outtakes from our filming session over that weekend. So let's have a look at that. Hi, Adam. Fan.
Hi, man.
We've been doing this for 3 hours. Come on, man.
Hey, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
He was laughing.
I'm gonna mute.
That's not helpful. Hi, Adam.
Hi, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, Adam.
That was the slowest hello I've ever seen from all of us. Can we do it a little bit faster, boys? Hey, Kirsty.
Hi, Kirsty.
Hey, Kirsty.
Oh, I've got to make Sean. Oh, Sean, your image has gone all small again. Hang on, here we go. Right.
Oh,
it's big again. What the f? That's not right.
Hi, Sam.
Right.
Hey, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
Just wanted to take this opportunity to give you a massive thank you.
You can do it, Vasily. Come on.
So yeah, that's how it went. That was our attempt at doing our kind of video content. But it was a good fun, and just a massive thanks to all the team as well. If the guys that are sort of tuning in to watch this, it was it was a great thing to do. It was nice to sort of to call out people for doing some really nice things. But we also had a lot of fun. / doing it for a long time.
Terribly hard work at Sleeping Giant, honestly.
Well, that was a weekend. That was Sunday morning at 7:45. So yeah, that was there was there was. I was saying to the guys, I when we started the business, I always, and again, probably not a healthy way to think about it, but was almost the week was for keeping up, the weekend and the evening was for getting ahead. That was my motto back in the day, and I kind of feel like a little bit like this now. It's kind of, there's kind of opportunities to kind of, try and get our businesses ahead. I think Kevin commented about, such a great time. Like a lot of people not doing a lot with their marketing, but this is like, it feels like the the time to be not to doing things to kind of get ahead as we kind of come into the new world?
Yeah, it's yeah.
Crucial time. One of the questions actually was, what are the opportunities for your work in the new world? So how do you think the sort of industry and the sector might change?
Well, I mean, I look at sort of my work as falling into genres, if you like. It's probably because I'm from television and radio. But we've got sort of the commercial, which divides up into online, TV, radio traditionally. We've got the corporate, which there's many different threads to that. E-learning, all the phone messaging. Corporate's quite big at the moment because there's lots of changes within companies. Also, people are wanting to get more of their content out there, and they're recutting things like explainer videos. So all of that doesn't need to be produced in the outside world. That's quite good opportunities there at the moment. And I think that the other aspect is that I'm trying to find new ones. You know, where are people struggling to communicate is where I'm looking at the moment. And a lot of that is still within corporate, but I've kind of got a couple of other ideas that I don't want to talk too much about.
Don't give them away. Don't give them away.
Tiny bit secret.
Well, the good news,
but there are new ones.
I was going to say the good news also is that there's a comment from Kevin as well. Claire, how can I get a quote or an idea on the price for what you do? I mean, don't have to go into prices right now, because I think that's, you know, we probably need to scope this one out, and I need to work out my commission structure. But if you could, what's the best way to? Could you give your website details over? Maybe Kevin can check them out.
Yeah, pop over to my website, which is Clare Reeves Voiceovers.com. On there's my email address. If you drop me, and that's hello@ClareReevesVoiceovers.com, which is, sorry, it's really long and involves a lot of typing, and I haven't got an I in my name, so you have to go back and delete that out. But if you go over there and drop me an email, it's one of those things that you'll ask me a question and I'll ask.
It's all right. We've posted it. One of the guys is on the case. They've posted your link in the chat. There we go. Thanks. Good work, team. Thanks for that. And also, hi, Kaylee.
Questions I'll ask, basically.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's that?
I was just saying hi to Kaylee in the chat as well. So your link is there. So Kevin, if you click on that link, you'll be able to find out some more details about the work that Claire's doing, and hopefully there's some business ready for you in the new world as well, Claire, which would be great.
Oh, we love that.
And actually, if you don't mind, I'm going to play one of your clips because this is awesome to hear. This is a Colgate advert. So Kevin, this is the quality we're talking about.
In the next advert, pay attention to the actor's gums. Gums! We don't think about them, but they're like skin.
Pro.
Living and renewing. New Colgate Gum Invigorate builds resilience for 4 times enhanced gum.
It makes me so happy hearing that and just kind of like piecing the two together. It's like you're a star. We've got a star on the show.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm not sure I see myself that way, but
I totally do.
You know, for me, it is quite fun. I love doing commercials. It's an area I trained in the most with an incredible coach who's based in LA, actually, and I adore her. She's brilliant. And commercials are a huge art form, and getting the right message, the right tone, speaking to the right people within that 20 seconds, I think that ad is.
Yeah, 20 seconds.
It's an art form in itself, and it's so fun to be given that script and that challenge, and you kind of programmed to dissect it and turn it around for the right people to put across the right message. You know, so there's a lot within that little excerpt. There's a
lot goes into it.
You know, there's 10 years of training to do that.
Right. Well,
you know.
Talking of challenges, Claire. Speaking of which, we have reached the halfway mark, and I've got a new thing for that. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, we've reached the halfway point. We've reached the halfway mark. Yeah, see what we did there, Mark Zuckerberg. And yeah, we're gonna change up the marks each time as well. Which should be good. But what I would like you to do is I'd like you to help me with a bit of a challenge. I'm gonna see if I can do this now. I've just moved us to a new screen now. And I'm not so sure the whole voiceover thing's that difficult, okay? So I think I can nail this straight away. Yeah, and I'm very sure. I'm very, very
heard
sure.
all this before.
Right. So I'm going to challenge you to this. And if you hear me, I'm going to do the voiceover first. Then I would like to I'd like you to give me some feedback or some scoring on it. See how you think I get on with it. This is a classic Marks and Spencer's advert. Okay, so my turn first. Are you ready?
So excited, Luke.
I'm slightly nervous. Right, here we go. Traditionally cured Scottish gravlax salmon with creamy mustard and dill sauce. Shh, computer. Lincolnshire cabbage with apple and cranberries, slow braised in red wine and tawny port sauce. Golden roast parsnips coated with wildflower honey and whole grain mustard dressing. This isn't just food. This is M&S food. Thoughts, initial impressions, what do you think?
I think we've got stuff to work with.
Okay, good. Okay, because I was kind of getting bored of running a digital marketing agency, so I'm kind of like...
Oh, no, not you as
I'm
well.
looking for...
Voiceover looks easy.
I'm looking for a new career path, and I feel like that I want that fame of featuring on a Colgate advert at some point. So, right, give me some tips. What can I do to improve that?
Right. Do you know what I'd like to hear first of all? I'd like to hear you being authentically you. What I'm hearing is you doing an impression of somebody who's done an advert before.
That's no fun.
Fair?
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so
give me the first line.
Okay.
Don't read it like anything that's playing in your head.
Right.
Read it as if you're telling it as Luke.
Okay.
What is the truth of this for Luke? Be authentic, Luke.
Such a pro already. Right.
Go on.
Traditionally cured Scottish gravlax salmon with creamy mustard and dill sauce. Still a little bit of a voice there, isn't there? Still a bit of a voice there.
Better. Drop the volume.
Okay.
Drop the volume. You're whispering into someone's ear.
Okay.
But still be Luke.
Okay. Traditionally cured Scottish gravlax salmon with creamy mustard and dill sauce.
Okay, now this time, feel that, taste it, slow it down.
Okay.
Okay. Stop it.
Well, the thing is, I've gone vegan. Okay, so I don't really fancy salmon right now. But okay, we'll focus. We'll focus.
You're an actor.
Okay, yeah, Okay, I can get back into 3 years ago. Right. Traditionally cured Scottish gravlax salmon with creamy mustard and dill sauce.
So much better. Yes.
Progress. Thank you very much. Do you fancy having a go?
I'll have a go.
Yes.
Just my disclaimer is that my actual studio is over there.
Get the excuses out.
Which sounds lovely.
Good.
I thought I would do so. I'm on a little microphone, but I'll work with it.
Okay, so Kevin,
Okay.
don't poop it off for this. This is not professional sounding
This is
equipment.
my podcast quality. Okay.
Okay, you ready? You got the script.
Go on, I have.
Okay, here we go. Hang on one second. I pressed the wrong button. Here we go.
Traditionally cured Scottish gravlax salmon with creamy mustard and dill sauce. Lincolnshire cabbage with apple and cranberries, slow braised in red wine and tawny port sauce. Golden roast parsnip coated with wildflower honey and whole grain mustard dressing. This is not just food. This is M&S food.
Woo! Nailed it. That was incredible. And that
Not bad for a first
and
read.
that is why, guys, you need to go to the professionals because yeah, I'm clearly not that great at that, and I probably will just have to stick to digital marketing for now. So that's kind of
Well, you know, I'd be as good at your digital marketing as you would be at this.
yeah. Well,
you know?
well, I think you're already better because the fact that you've actually done SEO and you're talking about SEO, and even in the intro when I said what do I call you, she's like, well, to be honest with you, what does SEO say? I was like, again, another correct answer. So
Sorry.
I worry about my future generally in both digital marketing world and also in the voiceover world. But thank you very much for the
I
advice.
think you've got talent there. You're very welcome.
It's, yeah, I feel like I've got some work to do that. So how do you think the world will change in terms of the kind of the quality aspect, in the sense of, obviously you mentioned before, and I've seen similar adverts with, you know, Budweiser kind of reusing their old content. I think who is it? Oh gosh, whiskey company, American whiskey company, reusing their old content, or just using kind of like really low grade quality content because it's okay at the moment. How do you think things are going to change as we kind of move, hopefully, out the other side of this?
I mean, I think filming is beginning to happen again, obviously with a lot of restrictions. But I think that production companies are realizing that they've probably got quite a lot of footage that's probably fine. And do you know what? Here's the thing. You can get away with more visually if you've got good audio.
Yeah.
Because people tend to place audio second. But as far as believing that you're watching and hearing something of good quality goes, if you've got really good music track, properly recorded and delivered voiceover, you can actually get away with a lot lower grade pictures, believe it or not, because it will just makes it feel polished and deliberate. You know, you could have a load of old stuff that you're seeing, but the way that you can edit it together really nicely, which is all stuff people are doing at home anyway, add a voiceover track to that that's probably recorded, you know, by someone who knows what they're doing, and it's completely passable. But I think that in a few years' time, you know, lots of companies that I record for and have done years ago are still using content I've recorded. And my heart breaks a bit that some people might be using content that's been recorded now on equipment that's not good, that will still be hanging around in the next couple of years. You don't really want to still, you know, in 2022, do you really want to be sounding, you know, COVID-esque?
Yeah.
Not sure you do. So, you know, think about it a little bit. And the quality will always win, because when you're booking voiceover and you're in that position that you want to use it, then I think that you are making a big decision about your brand and your company, and you shouldn't take that decision lightly. You know, I love my brand. I'm dressed in turquoise. My website's all turquoise. And I think for me, what that means for my clients is that their brand is safe with me, because I understand it. I understand the way these things work, and I respect it, and will treat it really carefully. And I will be here in 5 years' time because the work I produce is good enough to pay my bills.
Yeah.
But if you're coming into somebody that's, you know, working with someone who's maybe quite new at it, for example, with a studio that's not right, they're not going to be there in 5 years to do your pickups and record the next thing you want them to.
Yeah.
You know, it's about keeping my industry strong through keeping other businesses and brands strong and thriving, and, you know, making sure everyone sounds as good as they can be, and helping people to stand out for, you know, all the right reasons.
Yeah.
Because that's hard to do. It's a noisy world.
And I think it's an interesting one. You said a lot of people are kind of, you know, jumping in there, kind of creating things, and I think hopefully it's as you say, as the kind of the quality shines through. I think there's almost like hopefully it's a temporary period where there's a kind of you know, a lull of it, but ultimately again the quality and the kind of the cream will rise to the top, as it were.
I really hope so, and I think it will. I've seen a real increase again over the last couple of weeks in work and regular clients getting back into it, and, you know, and I think it's actually good for people to know you're still about and you're still doing it. And, you know, I'm lucky enough that I've not been poorly as yet, so I have been sort of consistent, you know. And in my world, when you're ill, you are totally stuck. It hits you, know? It's not good news.
No, I bet. Well, that was amazing. We are quickly running out of time, so I've got just quickly run our digital news roundup for the week. So this is a kind of look of the key digital stories that have happened during the week, and then we'll conclude with a chance to win this limited edition Sleeping Giant Media Cup. We have a leaderboard. Jenny Kitchen in the lead with 5 points. Simon Midweek got 4. So let's just see if you're going to be able to beat that when we come back. Oh, it's exactly. There's a leaderboard. We've got to do it. It's like, you know, cream rises to the top, as we just said. So let me just run the news story, and we'll come back and we'll play the game to conclude.
System breach.
Oh, we got a problem.
What?
So we're being hacked.
Shut up and take my money.
Behold, my stuff.
32 years of age, and you don't know how to make a grilled cheese sandwich. Its name is the recipe, you...
Yeah. My name is Clare. I have a basketball game, point guard, I got shoe games. No. No, 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 no.
Okie dokie, right, so those are the news stories for the week, and we have zero time to talk about any of them, but we do have time to play a game, okay? And I've explained this, hopefully that was clear, but basically you've got to explain to me what's on the screen, and I have to guess it. You've got 5 to beat. Are you ready?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's give this a go. And you can skip as well.
It's a bit like a hamster. It's a desert rat.
Is it a desert rat? Because if it is, you're not allowed to say it.
It's got another name that we use
gerbil?
For it. Yes.
I think. Okay, that's all right. Carry on.
It's like a fly. They buzz around. They're little.
Bee,
they're irritating.
Moth, midge, mosquito.
It's a bit like that.
Gnat.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
It's a longish creature. They live in streams and things. They're quite cute. They've got. Someone said once that. What's his name? Benedict Cumberbatch looks a bit like one.
An otter.
Yes. It's associated. It's a bird. It's associated with peace.
Dove.
This is something that you'll find in a park, maybe with big antlers. Oh,
So that was 4, I believe. I know because I pressed again. I got too excited. Yeah, it says 3, but we got 4. That's a very respectable score. But unfortunately, let's just check the leaderboard. It puts you, I'm afraid, into joint 3rd place. I'm afraid to say, Claire. But it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Before we go, is there any sort of businesses or people you wanted to shout out to, and just because if they're doing a wicked job, and things that they've been doing on LinkedIn or content that they're sharing that you think has actually been really kind of useful at all?
Yeah, I mean, of course, because I'm Folkestone based, and I live in a world full of wonderful creatives in Folkestone. I just kind of want to say hello to them and well done for kind of pushing through everything and keeping going, and looking for new ways of doing things. Also, for my other part of my world, which is my voiceover world, the VO Social podcast, which, even if you're not a voiceover artist, very fun, run by 2 of my favourite voiceover artists in the world, Nick Redman and Leah Marks. So that's worth a listen. Really, really good. They've built an amazing community within voiceover, which can be isolating, as we've said, but they've kind of bring people together with really useful content and advice.
Awesome. Well, I know where I'm going to be going over the weekend, so I can get ready to set my studio up for next week. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks very much for coming on, Claire.
Thank you, Luke. Lovely to be here.
Right, guys, that is it from us. That wraps up another episode. I think we are now... I forgot to even introduce where we are. This is episode number 19, day number 73 of isolation. But I hope you're doing well wherever you are. And again, keep the optimism, keep the positivity. And we're going to come out the other side a lot stronger. We're going to be back again next Wednesday. We're going to have another somebody in. I think it's Steve Krieger from Red Bullet. We were talking about it today. It wasn't 100% confirmed, but hopefully that'll be confirmed. So we're going to hear from Steve and the sort of the opportunity challenges that they've been going through, and hopefully share some additional ideas with you. So that's it from us. Have an amazing bank holiday weekend, everyone, and see you next week.